I welcome everyone to today's session. It is about challenges that most of B2B organizations are facing right now, and how do you grow revenue without proportionally growing sales headcounts. We will talk about where revenue quietly leaks in B2B organizations, why these leaks are structural and not people problems, and in the end, how to change that. And it's important for me to say it's not about buzzwords, shiny features, or sales pitch. Uh, we will really try to focus on content, and so that you can take something out of this session today. All right, starting off, I will briefly present the agenda. We will start with the economic reality of B2B sales, then walk through 5 invisible friction points that cost time, revenue, and margin. After that, I'll show you what a scalable system setup looks like, share real-world cases, and close with a self-audit you can apply immediately. And in the very end, we have a little Q&A session. So in case there are questions, you can already raise them in the F&A section, or just at the end in the Q&A session. So why is it important? Why it matters? Here are some insights from Shopware and benchmarks from our customer base. And around 67% of commercial customers' turnover is B2B. And over half of customers use B2B features. So it's important. This is not a niche topic. B2B dominates commercial revenue for many clients, but development and operations often lack. And that imbalance creates obviously risk when, for example, scale increases. What we at Shopware are addressing is that topic by investing around 40% of our capacities into the development of B2B features. So really addressing this highly important topic of structuring B2B processes, increasing revenue, simplify processes, and automate processes. So really important. This is not a niche topic. This is a real world struggle. All right. Coming to the topic, the economic reality of B2B sales. Why leakage often hides in everyday sales execution revenue. Most revenue loss in B2B doesn't come from dramatic failure. It comes from small inefficiency repeated 1,000 of times. So quotes taking too long, manual order corrections, inconsistent pricing, in different systems, customers waiting for answers instead of buying. Individually, these little mistakes seem manageable, but at scale, they quietly inflate cost per order, delay revenue recognition, and reduce customer trust. So if revenue grows 20%, but operational effort grows 30%, this doesn't mean growth. That's margin erosion. And if you want, let's do a little poll. Where does the most revenue leaks in your sales to order process? And we can use the outcome later for the Q&A session. So just click, where do you see the biggest revenue leak? I see the majority is answering for quoting takes too long or requires too much manual work. And if you want, we can address this topic later on in the Q&A session individually. So this seems to be the biggest problem. And personally speaking, we do also B2B sales at Shopware. And this is also a topic like for every industry, not just manufacturing. It's, I think, across B2B industries, really a huge issue. Coming to the next point, the problem isn't people, it's the system they're working in. And the issue, honestly, is almost never your sales team. Sales teams are usually compensating for system gaps. Digital storefronts disconnected from ERP reality, pricing logic spreads across Excel sheets, who knows it, raise your hand. Approval workflows living in inboxes. So people are doing manual work because the system or the company structure forces them to do so. So the key insight here is you can't scale human exception handling, but you can scale systems. And this is what we're here for. And probably a little action to all of you. Please note down 1 or 2 processes where digital and manual steps overlap today. And we can walk through them in the Q&A session as well. And in the end, if you like. So please note down if there are processes where digital and manual steps overlap today. But digging a little bit deeper into that topic, digital front end exists, but the operating model hasn't caught up. What does it exactly mean? So, for example, it means that you have modern front ends, but analog back ends. So you have a web shop, you have customer portals already, you have self-service portals, user interfaces, configurators, but in the end, this triggers manual effort. So manual processes, Excel workflows, email approvals, ERP logic from the 90s is included. So every digital click causes manual workflows in the end, or someone calls the colleague to solve some problems. So basically, really disconnecting modern front end from back ends. So triggers analog work, manual work. A second point is the operating model is still optimized for the sales and internal services. So the classic B2B operation model is based on key account managers, quoting processes, individual prices, special logic for each customers, but digital front ends require often a clear pricing logic, standardized processes, automated decisions, consistent data. So the shop more or less expect rules, but your company runs on exemptions. And this is somehow a really, really big conflict. And the last point is the processes in your company, the processes in sales are not designed for scaling. So the digital front end promise self-service, 24/7 availability, scalability, but the reality shows that actually just a small number of large customers are addressed in the e-commerce system. All the requests requires individual support, and in the end, there's really a low process speed. And this, in the end, all manageable, but as soon as volume increase, as soon as you are really successful and there's traction on the system, throughput times explode, errors increase, cost per order remains high. So in a nutshell, many B2B processes were designed for key account relationships and not digital scale. So every order is treated as an exception, every price needs approval, every deviation triggers manual interactions. And this results in that digital channels exist but don't actually reduce workload. So as a practical advice, probably define explicit exception classes and remember, and to make it very clear, if everything is an exception in your company, nothing can be automated in the end. So this is a real issue. And this leads us to really name 5 invisible friction points in B2B commerce. And explicitly where ordering and sales process slow deals and create risk. So coming to the first point, when customers can't handle routine tasks themselves, sales absorb the cost. So typically examples are reorders, invoices access, delivery status, order histories, and the economic impact is higher cost per order, slower purchasing cycles, lower order frequency. And useful KPI to measure the first friction point is what percentage of orders can be completed end-to-end without sales involvement at all. And for most scalable B2B models, the target is at around 80% or more. The second point, quoting is one of the most underestimated inconsistencies and bottlenecks in the end. And manual quotes mean delays, inconsistencies, and lost deals. So practical improvements here are template-based quotes, automated validation rules, digital approvals and signatures, and clear SLAs for quote turnarounds. And we at Shopware consistently see at our customer base that reducing quote turnaround from days to under 24 hours, for example, directly improve close rates simply because customers decide faster. So from faster quoting, directly more turnover. To the third point, we see more details on the following slides, which leads us directly to number 4. Buying experience is complex, but systems like Shopware, for example, have answers to that complexity. Functions, for example, like quote management, quick order functions, order list, order document management, approval flows, rights and role management, all these little function bricks in the end solve this complexity that B2B buying centers often have and really provide a solution to that complexity. And they, in the end, should be e-commerce standards. Lastly, to the fifth point, sales should focus on strategic accounts, contract negotiations, upsell and lifecycle value, but often they focus on re-entering orders, checking availabilities, fixing price errors, and this should not be the case. So let's dig also here a little bit deeper. How disconnected systems erode speed, margin, and trust. The hidden cost of fragmentation across the sales to order journey. Inconsistent prices erode margin. Missed delivery promises erode trust, and manual corrections erode profitability. So that really shows that a clean integration and data strategy improves all 3 points here simultaneously. And often we see that you really have like online catalogs, no ERP history, order history in the e-commerce system, no invoices or payments can be made, no real-time pricing is there, low customer adaption, data in silos, and you really want to have in the end a central self-service portal with real-time ERP integration, with full past order visibility, with quoting and workflows, with customer-specific and dynamic prices, catalogs, and AI readiness to reduce repeated tasks and to help customers with the and your staff with AI support. And improving this is iterative. So think in MVPs. For example, you could start in 90 days to implement reordering and live availability functions in the e-commerce system. Then after 6 months, you probably want to have automated quoting. And probably after 12 months, you say, okay, now we need to have a digital sales room and advanced automation capabilities in the shop. So really think in MVPs. Don't think that this needs to be there tomorrow. Think in MVPs, in milestones, and try to achieve some steps one after another. And to probably guide you a little bit how to start and prioritize investments, I brought this B2B digital maturity model. And each stage of this maturity model has measurable KPIs. Adoption, orders without sales involvement, quote turnaround, cost per order. And the goal isn't perfection, it's consistent progression. So just simply pick 3 improvements for the next quarter and execute them properly. Um, but as you might know and expect already, there's a different B2B buying experience for different customers. So probably the simplest logic at all, you group your customers into 3 segments: small, mid-sized, enterprise customers. And obviously all these 3 tiers have different expectations. Small customers in the B2B segment have a single cost center. They just want to see net prices, not gross prices. So they have like an B2C expectation on the shop. They have an ease of integration, ease of ordering, cash flow, positive payment terms. And there, for example, functionalities like customer pricing, very good shopping experience adapted to their needs, shopping lists, advanced search capabilities, quick orders. These functionalities are addressing their needs. And this looks different for mid-sized B2B customers. There, you often have like multiple cost centers, ease of organization management, recurring demand of products, and cash flow critical payment terms. And there, you need to provide roles and rights, approval management in your e-commerce system. You need to provide the possibility to offer cost centers, budgeting, and often it is necessary to have a quote management also implemented. And this again looks completely different to enterprise customers. They demand matrix or hierarchical structures, international demand chains, full-time procurement departments, highly specific needs, face-to-face negotiations. And these requirements you can in the end address with rule-based processes and flows, the capability of having multiple warehouses, and each warehouse is being displayed rule-based, more or less, that you implement digital sales rooms, so a room where really your sales staff and the customer can meet and negotiate about prices, about products that you show them explicitly digital, so in your store at best case. You have a sales representative integration, so that the sales representative can insert offers, demands directly, and this is integrated perfectly with the e-commerce system, so all in one. And enterprise customers often demand like direct integrations into their this systems, like OCE, EDI, you name it. And this is often the case for, or the expectations for enterprise customers. And the good thing is that Shopware has an answer to that, and already offers functionalities to serve customers of all size. So, for example, with B2B components, you really address small and mid-sized companies already. So we have solutions for customer-specific pricing, roles and rights, approval management, cost centers, budgeting, quote management, quick orders, advanced search capabilities, etc. So by just installing this functionality called B2B components, or all these components, you really addressing already small and mid-sized companies, and take a step towards integrated systems and addressing digital needs of your B2B clients. And also like enterprise requirements, like having a digital sales room for really big customers to negotiate prices directly in the e-commerce system, directly in your IT system landscape. We have digital sales room ready, and it leads really to a higher conversion rate, So digital sales room in the end increases guided session conversions. And this is, I think, a really good function and first step into addressing like enterprise clients in your e-commerce systems as well, and not just always small and mid-size, because enterprise customers are too complex. We are addressing this complexity. Also, with other functionalities like sales agent integrations, the sales agent function improves omnichannel consistency. So basically, really, your sales agent can go to the customer, has its function at hand, can insert orders directly, can change prices, can see availabilities, can see order status, and doesn't need to phone your uh, sales department all the time, doesn't need to write emails and start doing manual processes. And in the end, obviously, you have different needs of different customers. You have rules, you have flows in your company that are specific to your industry, and the rule and flow builder automation saves several hours per employee per week by addressing this complexity, this rule-based, flow-based processes of your company. It's more or less really you can see in the upper left corner a configurator that allows you to configure flows, and based on these flows, do automation in the system. And by having this rule and flow builder addressing exemptions, you can really save dramatic time, and this in the end saves costs, automized processes, increase time to really do active sales and not administrating something in the system. So to sum it up, what is the expectation for good B2B commerce? It's really a 24/7 integrated self-service where customers see order histories, invoices, can reorder, and see real-time availabilities. It's simple as that. Then they really need to have consumer-grade UX. So they need to have the capability to search, filter, appropriate to their product catalog. They need to have a mobile experience. They need support to find products and not to search products. And this human and digital sales cooperation is really important. So integrate your apps into the portal, make it ready for AI so that these components can really work together and not are competing. And to make it really explicit, B2B experience is not copying B2C standards. It's about expectations or matching expectations where it makes sense and economic sense in the end. So B2B buyers expect fast product discovery, transparent pricing, reordering without friction, mobile access, approval rules in the system, customer-specific product catalogs. And not because it's nice, but because it saves them time. And the high impact starting points are reordering, order histories, account specific pricing visibility, and visibility of all documents connected to an order in the end. So this needs to be provided by a B2B account. And here I also brought some real life cases where customers took action and solved important things to optimize time, costs, and margin by, in the end, connectivity. I want to start with Toyota. Toyota, for example, connected 400 dealers across multiple systems in 4 months, supporting 186 million in annual revenue. And the key learnings out of this case study, for example, are define governance and data models really early, focus on critical integration first, and roll out in structured waves. This shows that even complex decentralized B2B networks can be digitalized quickly if priorities are clear. So also this complex case could be done within 4 months. A second case that based on the content that I delivered before is BuyRF. BuyRF operates more than 500 branches across 4 continents, and each branch needs a certain level of decentralization, like local pricing, local availability, local contracts. But in the same time, the group needs global transparency and control. And this really shows that you can connect today's systems to several ERP systems to have a consistent data exchange, credit limits, prices, discounts, order history, availabilities. This was all being taken care of by RF in this nice case study. And if you want, I can send over the links to the case study directly so you can read a little bit more about these cases. And here there is a brief checklist, and you can answer this checklist basically on your own to see if revenue, time, margin leak somewhere in your sales process. And you can take your time by answering it. Can buyers complete 80% of orders without sales integration? How long does quote take? Can I reduce it somehow? Is price stock consistent everywhere? How many manual steps still exist? And by answering this, you have really like a good checklist on how mature your B2B buying experience is in the end. And before coming to the last point, the Q&A, I would love to get your feedback about the session, whether this was helpful or not. So please feel free to provide some constructive feedback. Really, it was the goal not to do here high rocket content, but really to provide you with a self-audit checklist to provide you with like little insights how a B2B experience can be improved across your systems. And here the little survey is. Was it helpful? Very helpful, somewhat helpful, not helpful at all. Hopefully you liked it. If you want to have more content to the B2B topic, I also brought a little QR code here. It's there you can access a free white paper to learn a little bit more about 6 key action areas. So feel free to just download the white paper, and then once the survey is done, I'm more than happy to answer open questions if there are some. And let's just kick off the Q&A session. If there is no question, not a problem at all. If you have some and you don't want to raise them here directly, just feel free to drop me an email, give me a call, and we can talk about your specific project, specific cases, issues that you want to solve. And then I want to thank you, everyone, that you listened to this webinar, and have a good day. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.